First on 11.
Ken Conius caught.
During his arrest, a large sum of money and 2 weapons were also recovered.
We tracked this armored car heist case from the start.
Now, after 56 days and 1,100 miles, we take you where the nationwide manhunt ended.
So, how could someone pull off this deadly inside job?
And what about the lives affected forever?
Our reporters in Pittsburgh dig for those answers.
While our 2 reporters in Florida find out what Conius said in federal court and uncover the guns and $1 million cash stash he had. We broke the big story.
And we're bringing you Team 11 coverage right now.
Live, local, link breaking. This is Channel 11 News. News coverage you can count on.
The list of the FBI's most wanted just updated. We checked out the website. It says Ken Conius captured. Here he is in federal custody. This is new video in since noon today. U.S. Marshals took Conius out of a van and into jail in Fort Lauderdale. This is a big story that's had our attention for months now.
We've all been asking what happened to that armored guard and the missing millions. Now we're starting to get some answers. Target 11 broke the story on the web and on TV that police caught up with Conius today. The search that began after a deadly shooting in Pittsburgh ended at a home in Pompano Beach, Florida. Channel 11's Vince Sims begins our Team 11 coverage with the big break that led to the arrest. Vince?
Yes, I've been here at the FBI headquarters gathering all the details on how they found Conius, and I found out that this all came after a phone call from Florida came into the Pittsburgh police.
I think he had made the he may have made the admission that he was remorseful about some of his activities here in Pennsylvania to some individual, and I think that's the person picked up on it and just called over here.
FBI Special Agent Michael Rodriguez says that call to Pittsburgh police sent agents here and in Florida scrambling to capture Ken Conius. We got this new picture of how he looked when Violent Crimes Task Force agents found him in that Pompano Beach, Florida home. His only appearance change, a new goatee. This is brand new video of Conius under arrest today in Florida. I'm told he didn't try to fight or run, even though he had weapons on him.
One was a personally owned weapon. I don't have the information on that weapon, but one of the weapons was his service revolver, the one he used on the job. We believe that the service revolver, he indicated that was the weapon he used in the shooting.
FBI agents detailed some of Conius's journey. I'm told after he stashed money at his grandmother's grave, he hit the road.
Conius then drove to Miami. He encountered several individuals in South Florida who he confided in regarding his criminal activity in the Pittsburgh area.
There has been only limited questioning of Conius so far, so agents are still working on backtracking all of his whereabouts up to his arrest. As far as all that money, agents tell me they got over $1 million back, stashed away in a storage unit and at the house where he was found.
Over $1 million. I'd say anywhere close to between $1.3 and $1.5 million.
Were they in a Foot Locker? Or were they in?
2 different locations and 1 storage unit and then the residence.
Now, of course, I just showed you that one photo of Conius where his image has changed with that goatee. Well, we have another image of him that shows that the Conius the feds were looking for is different from the one they found. David?
All right, Vince, thanks. And the clean-cut picture on the left shows what he looked like 8 weeks ago. The picture on the right shows how he looked when the FBI tracked him down this morning. A big, big difference. Target 11 investigator Rick Earl broke the story of the arrest. He hopped a flight to Florida, and he just landed there. Rick.
Yeah, we just arrived here at the Fort Lauderdale airport, and we are preparing to go over to the neighborhood where Ken Conius Jr. was arrested just after midnight last night here without incident. Of course, this story began for me early this morning in Pittsburgh. I awoke to a call about 7 o'clock this morning, a source telling me that Ken Conius had been captured last night just after midnight and was in federal custody. I broke that story this morning on WPXI's morning newscast. We subsequently learned through sources that Conius had been in Florida, had been in the Miami, Florida, the Fort Lauderdale area for about 2 months now. Again, we are in the process of heading over to the area where he was captured. Again, he made a court appearance here at about 11 o'clock this morning. He waived his extradition, so he'll be heading back to Pittsburgh in about a week or so. And we understand at that time, when he also talked with investigators last night, that he was remorseful about all of this. Again, we just arrived in Fort Lauderdale, and we are preparing to head over to that neighborhood, to head over to the home where he was hiding out for the past 2 months, my sources tell me. And of course, we will have much more on this story and how he was able to elude authorities for so long. That's the very latest reporting from Fort Lauderdale. Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.
Okay, Rick, thanks very much. And prosecutors wasting no time in the effort to bring Conius back to Pittsburgh.
He's already appeared in court. We sent a sketch artist to the federal courthouse in Fort Lauderdale to bring us these images of Conius's brief appearance. He appears to be cooperating with authorities. As Rick mentioned, he waived his right to an extradition or removal hearing. That allows U.S. Marshals to transport him back to Pittsburgh without any further legal fight. He could be back in Pittsburgh to face charges here by next week.
Conius's partner, Michael Haynes, was shot and killed in that heist, as you know. And now that his alleged killer has been captured, we're getting a better idea of how his family is doing. Channel 11's Renee Kaminsky live with that part of the story. Renee.
Dave, of course, we almost remember the real victim in this story is Michael Haynes. He is from Forest Hills, so my first stop today was to go to Forest Hills and try to reach out to his parents. So far, the Haynes family has kept their grief and their feelings about Ken Conius out of the public eye. Despite a couple of trips to their house today, I could not reach anyone in the Haynes family, but just a little while ago downtown, we did talk with the Haynes family attorney.
They're pleased that he's been captured and pleased that the justice system will have an opportunity to work, and they're confident that a just and fair outcome will result.
And the Haynes family, we are told, are extremely grateful to law enforcement from here in Pittsburgh, of course, all the way down to Florida. Conius's family attorney, meanwhile, Charles Lepresti, said Ken and Renee Conius are relieved their son is in custody and that the search for him is over. Reporting live tonight, I'm Renee Kaminsky, Channel 11 News.
And Ken Conius's family and neighbors are glad he's been captured. We went out to Dravosburg, where Conius lived, and talked to his neighbors.
I sort of thought that he got tied up with somebody that blew him away and took the money. But, I guess not. I'm glad they got him.
He should be punished. And justice is, and hopefully the family that lost their son will have some closure now.
The Conius family attorney told us the family is relieved he's in custody and the search is now over and that no one else is in danger.
From the deadly heist to Conius's capture, we have followed every twist and turn of this nationwide manhunt. It all began February 28th. At 8:47 that morning, Conius and his partner picked up millions of dollars from the Rivers Casino. At 12:55, they made their last pickup at a Home Depot in Ross Township. Then at 3:44 p.m., the truck was found idling under a bridge with Haynes' body inside. March 7th, $250,000 was found at Conius's Dravosburg home. The next day, another $24,000 was found hidden at his grandmother's grave. On March 16th, Conius was featured on America's Most Wanted as we continued to check local sightings. March 21st, his parents made a public plea on Channel 11 for him to please come home. For a month, lots of false leads, until now, and his capture in Florida. And as reported, Conius should be back in Pittsburgh next week to face charges. Our reporters here and in Florida are going to push for more answers about where Conius has been and what he's been up to. And at 5:30, we're going to have a live update from Florida.